This is Dabu7. In the past, I had spoke about this prophecy, so to speak, made by this Jewish sage known as Vilna Gaon, or the genius of Vilna. Now, the first part of his prophecy was talking about Russia invading Crimea. That was what was so interesting about this whole thing. When I first spoke about this, people said, oh, it's just coincidence, this and that. Well, now, after seeing the more recent events between Turkey and Russia and the escalation and this tension rising, when you go back and take a look at the second part of this prophecy, because it had two parts to it, two main events, two specific events that would happen just before Vilna Gaon says the prophecy will be fulfilled. The prophecy of the Messiah returning. Now, after being held as a secret, closely guarded for over 200 years, they came out and they released this information for the first time in 2014. It was put out there. And like I said, we discussed the detail of this, that when you hear that the Russians have captured the city of Crimea, you should know that the times of the Messiah have started, that his steps are being heard, and that when you hear that the Russians have reached the city of Constantinople, which is Istanbul today, you should put on your Shabbat, your clothes, and do not take them off, because it means that the Messiah is about to come at any minute. So he mentions two things before the return of the Messiah that he foresaw happening, both regarding Russia. One has already been fulfilled. The other, we could be right on the doorstep of happening. So I wanted people to be aware of this so-called prophecy and the predictions. And I'd spoke about this before, and one has already come true. We now have what is being talked about as Turkey waging war on Russia in Crimea, the Caucasus, and Central Asia, all these different places. And you can read all the details aligned with this. The downing of the Su-24, how Crimea was attacked and left in the dark, a state of emergency declared. And they're saying that they may be in the dark until New Year. So for all you guys that remember the report that I put out on this, the power lines being attacked, they're still in the dark. State of emergency out here. That's what's really happening. And you can see things heating up between Russia and Turkey as Russia reveals details of how IS in Turkey are smuggling oil in mass amounts, and that Erdogan promised that he would resign should Russia be able to prove just that. Well, it looks like Russia just did, because they dropped a series of videos here, and in them you will see they start to discuss that this has been going on an industrial level, a massive level. And it could have only been possible with Turkey's support. So now we sit at a moment in time where Damascus is being surrounded. Where one of these so-called prophecies have come true with Crimea as they sit in the dark. And we're on the doorstep of potentially the other one happening. If these things continue to escalate between Turkey and Russia, and you see any moves whatsoever where Russian military, along with other military, make a move on Istanbul, then you can say, once they've started that invasion, that the second piece is coming true. So, for what it's worth, I wanted to share all the details with you guys so at least you were aware of it. And this is an update to the first piece that I did in talking about this. And it shows proof that at this point, these two are going at it. And one thing to watch for, and I'll leave you guys on this, is that Russia has just went in to the UN and said that this whole thing's going down. They're smuggling oil back and forth. If the U.S. or anyone tries to veto or try to stop anything whatsoever from anyone exposing the truth about what's going on between the connection of Turkey and IS, well, what's that going to say? If the United States defends Turkey, then who are they defending? What we've been saying all along. You see? So I'll leave links. Till next time, this has been W7. Peace.